The Weeks are here in the Volume.com studio, live here on Lightning 100. And yes, we are streaming video at Volume.com/Lightning100. It's great to see you guys. It's so good to give you guys a hug. I haven't seen you guys in a minute, man. Welcome back.
Welcome.
And I just mentioned before, right before we went live on air, that it's been 10 years since Dear Bo Jackson came out.
That is right.
And where does the time go, man? It's crazy.
Quick when you're having fun.
There you go. There you go. And the Weeks, I'm assuming you guys are having fun. So you're here this morning. You've got a show in Chattanooga tonight before returning to Nashville, playing out at Brooklyn Bowl coming up tomorrow evening. But first things first, what's new with you guys? Since the last time we saw you, I think Mel and I determined it was December of 2021 was the last time.
A little over a year since you guys came in.
So that would be, I think, the last time we played Brooklyn Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which I think at that point was we're just happy to be playing shows at that point.
Yeah,
we were just like, we'll
yeah.
book somewhere that we can go and play.
Was that the first show back?
It was the first
layoff?
Nashville show.
Yeah.
It may have been, I think it was like the first like actual headline show. And I was talking about it this week that it was like that feeling, you took it for granted, that feeling you got every single night, and then it goes away for a while. You find, we did things like during lockdown that were good to play music, but you just didn't get the full effect of it. And that show at Brooklyn Bowl last time was like as electric of a night as I can honestly remember.
It felt great.
I think it was, everything kind of coming together at that point. But so that was the last time we played Brooklyn Bowl. And then this year, we realized a couple months ago, we were like, it's been 10 years since Dear Bo Jackson came out. Like you said, the time goes and you're like, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. I mean, we toured it for like 2 years.
Right.
I feel like we played like 1,000 shows. So like everything started. And we worked on that record for like all of 2012 too. So it's like there's so much time that it took up that it was kind of hard to pinpoint. Like, oh yeah, it came out. It actually was released 10 years ago. So this year we kind of we hadn't played with Admiral.
Our old key player.
Our old keyboard player. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, he's the first person to bring up, hey, maybe we should do
some 10-year shows.
like a 10-year
Anniversary
thing out of the blue. He hadn't mentioned like playing in a while, and then said that, and then we were like, well, look at that, Admiral. I think that's a great idea.
So yeah, we put together like at first it started with just Nashville. And then it's kind of grown into this like 10, 15, 20 date like U.S. kind of rundown. Like some of the venues are, like some of the East Coast stuff, we're playing a lot of these rooms that we played on the original Dear Bo Jackson tour.
Okay.
Just for fun to be like, let's just go play a tiny room in D.C. That we can regret not playing in a bigger place when we get there. But, it's a fun
sweaty,
idea. Yeah.
More of an intimate.
I brought in my guitar today without a case, like I did when I was a tiny little rapscallion at the beginning of Dear Bo Jackson, just like completely irresponsible.
I was driving up here, Kyle in the passenger seat, Sam in the back seat, just playing guitar, and I was like, man, it feels like 2013.
Yeah.
Sam's playing acoustic in the back seat.
Same car and everything, or
Right, no,
not so
different-
much?
different car,
Different
but,
car. Okay.
But then, because I'm 10 years older, I then put my guitar down and was like, I need to put my seatbelt on.
Yeah, that's right. Buckle up. That's right. Always got to buckle up. Safety first. So excited to have the Weeks here in the studio. They're going to play a song or maybe two for us. Again, as we get ready for the show at Brooklyn Bowl coming up tomorrow night. So which one do you want to lead off with?
Let's play Brother in the Night first.
Nice.
I realized the other day that I think the first time we ever played this ever, when Wells was here in 2013, and we were staying at the Bonnaroo campsite area together, and he was like, you guys are a band, it looks like. Do you want to play a song? And we like went to Cinnaru, and I had this like tiny little guitar, because we weren't playing that year, we were just there.
Hanging out.
Right.
We just finagled our way into,
The artist area.
the artist area of the camp. And yeah, so I think the first time we ever played this song was on Lightning 100.
Was it like one of the golf cart sessions or something
It was
like
not
that?
even
Yeah,
like
We were sitting
It
on
was so
a
unofficial.
Table.
he was playing on the bottom of a
beer
Bud Light
bucket.
beer
There was
bucket.
like it was on the table, and I picked it up. I was like, well, I guess this will work. Let's try it.
Well, yeah. Look for that video over at on our YouTube channel. Chances are it is posted there. But yeah, we've got the Weeks here with an acoustic version, a live version here in the Volume.com studio. Brother in the Night here on Lightning 100.
I chased shapes and clouds and I saw things I never seen. We moved like renegades down interstates to reload that magazine. Almost killed us in that city, it was far too close to call. Scream, put money in the bags with wanted posters off the wall. Say I'm wanted for a murder of a man I've never seen. Say I shot him dead, one to his head somewhere in Holly Springs. May have killed a man before, not the one that they exclaim. That see the barrel of my gun before they ever see me hang. Oh, if my southern heart still pumping blood, still pumping blood, I'll bury my money in the mighty Mississippi mud. Oh, and if my southern lungs won't let me breathe, won't let me breathe, I'll wait for the cicadas and I'll let them push it out for me. Death is always close, there's always vultures on my trail. The inside of this hotel's better than a prison cell. Well, that southern whiskey singing, stinging words upon my breath. I was worried about forgetting, so I tattooed it on my chest. I'm a southern man forever, like the wind inside the pines. And my grandma used to sing it, oh, to my brother and I. How I wish I could get back there, fresher starts and newer skin. And we scurried out the window for the cops, they busted in. Oh, if my southern heart's still pumping blood, still pumping blood, I'll bury my money in the mighty Mississippi mud. Oh, and if my southern lungs won't let me breathe, won't let me breathe, I'll wait for the cicadas and I'll let them push it out for me. We were messages for millions, we were a midnight masquerade. Could walk away from all this as the town goes up in flames. Brilliance in a war, we can tear up where we live. Can walk away from all this, go back home to see your kids. Got a knife inside my boot, so my brother's got one too. Can bring them all, let's have a ball. Got nothing to lose, got hearts that been in weeks to shake. No one they can see, no one that was coming faster, no one that will bother me. My southern heart still pumping blood, still pumping blood, I'll bury my money in the mighty Mississippi mud. Oh, and if my southern lungs won't let me breathe, won't let me breathe, I'll wait for the cicadas and let them push it out for me.
The Week's live here in the Volume.com studio, Brother in the Night. And if you wanted to find that video from Bonnaroo, it's actually not that hard to find. I found it in about 10 seconds. It is up on YouTube. I will say the title of the video is a little misleading because it says backstage at Bonnaroo, and there was nothing backstage about it. Y'all were fully out in the middle of Centeroo, sitting on a picnic table.
And you mentioned, for those that are maybe not familiar, Admiral, who did the album, is on this tour with you. And for those that maybe are not familiar with Wells, well, he used to work here. He doesn't take our calls anymore, though. He's kind of a big deal.
He's got bigger and better things to do now. It's fine.
If you're listening, Wells, I'm joking. We love you, buddy. But it's so great to be in the same room with you guys playing music. And looking forward to tomorrow night's show again. Chrome Pony and Lenox Hills also on the bill. You can actually save a few bucks if you don't already have your tickets. You get them today for $25. They'll be $30 tomorrow, which is day of show. Doors at 6, and the show starts at 8. Obviously, we're a little stripped down acoustic, but we're going full band,
full throttle.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be
full throttle.
It's gonna rock.
It's gonna be intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rehearsal last night was the first real time we've gotten to
get all the boys, including Admiral, back in the same room together and really rehearse. And we knew that it was going to be. It's been a long time since we've had all the guys together. We knew it was going to be good, but we were all looking after. First song ends, and we all look around each other going, oh, wow, guys, that was pretty nice. I missed that.
The magic's still there, man.
Admiral played on the live record with us here at 3rd and Lindsley like 3 or 4 years ago. It was just a couple songs. I don't think we really got to even like rehearse it. We just sort of, he popped up on stage, played a couple of the old ones, popped off, as he does.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this last night was definitely the first time like we played Dearbo Jackson cover to cover. And it was weird, the muscle memory things. Like, we haven't played with him in that kind of setting in like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And so it was weird, those things. You're just like, we played it like a 4-piece version for the last 7 or 8 years. And then it's really weird to see how the muscle memory of like, you just sort of snap back into like, well, when Admiral's here, like, I don't play that. We play this part differently.
Sure.
This part stops here.
Well, and also I feel like there's certain songs where we've managed to now play as a 4-piece without keys.
There's just like so many parts,
right?
Where I'm just like,
we've managed to play as a 4-piece without keys, so it's been like, sounds great, we enjoy it, but I feel like as the people who wrote these songs, there's certain parts in those songs where you're hearing that keyboard part in your head, even though it's not there on stage.
Right.
So then to hear it actually on stage,
nice.
I was like, oh yes, there it is. I knew I'd heard it in my head the whole time, but
I mean, every band has got their baby records, and like we think we've made like 5 or 6 or 7. I don't even know how many records we've got, and everybody's got their favorites from time to time, and every member, has a favorite song or whatever. But it's all sort of subjective. But for us, I mean, it's pretty objective that Dearbo Jackson was the most important record for us, for sure. We toured it the longest. It was our first, what felt like sort of a big boy record.
Sure.
It was the first one that we really thought about. Like, we thought about decisions. We didn't just sort of go in and,
It was like, oh, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
You kind of dug a little bit deeper into it, right?
I think every other record we made in about 3 or 4 days, a week, kind of. We rehearse the songs, we go in, we hit record, we get out. And this record, we demoed the whole thing. We took the pre-production on that record was like 6 months. We probably overdid it.
Yeah.
certainly did.
Yeah, definitely. I think the one after that, we were like, let's meet somewhere in the middle here.
Yeah. Well, so when you doing all that pre-production, when you actually go into the studio to cut the record, are you listening like note for note, like, hey, we should keep it that way, or was that just to kind of give you, hey, we thought about this, but now that we're actually playing it in the studio, I like this a little bit better?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
There's definitely a lot of change. I mean, but
There's songs that are the
helps
same.
so much to be able to be like, okay, this is
You've got a
the whole
baseline kind
structure
of, right?
of
know
what
your
we're going
part.
to do, and no one's,
Right.
There are songs where like the demo is exactly how it is on the album,
Yeah.
and there are songs that the demo is completely unrecognizable.
Really?
But we was our first record we made in Nashville, so we had all of our friends come sing on it.
I mean, it really does have some
There's a bunch of people.
hitters on there.
I'm not somebody who really goes back and listens to records like that we made. I'm just too nitpicky.
I mean, feel free to name drop some
Yeah.
of those, some of
Let's
the buddies
see.
that were on the record.
Johnny Fritz,
Good old
Boom.
good old Johnny Corndog.
Bucky Baxter.
Bucky
Yeah.
Baxter played on.
Please.
I mean, that was,
He came
What
in
a
for
legend.
one song and then hadn't heard the song before, rips it to pieces, and then was like, well, man, I got some time. Go and play a couple more. We just play him 3 more tracks that he hadn't heard yet, and he just
There was no
Boom.
plan of sort of like, if he wants to stay for longer, like what would we do? He was just like, I don't know. Because the first song we did, this is one record too, where like before these records, the songs were a lot more meat and potatoes. They're a little weird, kind of, curveballs here and there, but nothing like, big conceptually with chord changes and all these, arrangements. And so there was a couple, the first one he played was like, it wasn't easy. The chords necessarily didn't like, obviously this is the next chord. This is definitely the one after that. It was some weird stuff, and he just went in and completely questions like, what's next? And so we're in the control room like, I mean, you pull up this one, I guess? I don't know. I have no
Let
idea.
him play whatever.
And
Yeah.
Exactly. Throw another one at him,
I
right?
will say, since that's happened, we've had other musicians come into the studio, like really good older musicians come in and teach you a thing or two. We're like, okay, he knows what he's doing. But
like the
that was the first time that had actually happened. I remember we were children, and this guy comes in and just like does his job, and was so nice and professional. We're like, oh my God, I guess that's how it works, huh? You just get in and just crush it and leave.
And then
without-
just walk out, right? Oh, I know. I remember when we first got the title of Dear Bo Jackson. I was like, "This is going to be so good." I mean, what a great title. You guys, we talked a little bit before we went on air. Not huge football guys, but more college ball. I mean, you guys are.
I'm the sports freak of the band. Our bass player Damien is a big sports fan himself. He is more of an NFL guy. He's a big Saints fan. They support us.
Yes.
They support
Okay.
us.
But but Bo Jackson fans, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
that's different. Yeah.
I'm from Birmingham originally, so like I'm a big Alabama fan. He obviously played at Auburn,
Right.
so there was,
right. And I've heard him talk about that too. He said that he was thinking about Alabama, but they said you're probably not going to play until at least your junior year.
Yeah.
And then was it Pat Dye at Auburn was like, "Oh,
I'll put you on the field."
Yeah,
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
We can find
from day one, he's like, "Yeah, I think I'll do that." And
Yeah.
there's also, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I actually picked it up a few months back. There's a great new book called "The Last Folk Hero" about Bo Jackson, written by
heard
Jeff
somebody talking about that.
Jeff Pearlman. I mean, it's like
That's
it's a
incredible.
500-600 page book, but it is so good.
It's a worthwhile read.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that for you.
I don't know where it is, but there is a photo somewhere. You did. Oh, there's a photo of Bo Jackson holding Bo
Dear
Jackson.
Yeah. The
have-
album,
the
not
album,
not a
not
small
himself.
version of himself.
But
Talk about folk.
there's definitely a picture of him holding it somewhere.
Was that like, okay, we've made it now?
I don't know who
That's
the-
it.
Did who
It was someone in my family saw him in an event, and I think happened to have seen a show in
Had the
in
record
the
in the
last
car.
week and had the record in the car. Not a great idea, by the way, to keep a record in the car, but he had it.
At least it was there.
Maybe
That's
he
so
knew,
cool.
Maybe he knew he was going to be at the show. Anyway,
That's so cool. Again, we've got the weeks here in the studio. The show coming up tomorrow night out of Brooklyn Bowl. Lightning 100 proudly presenting that show. Lenox Hills and Chrome Pony also on the bill. Doors at 6. Show is at 8. Get those tickets today for $25. They'll be $30 tomorrow, day of show. Did you guys want to play another one for us? Or?
we're going to play. You got room for 10 more? Let's clear the schedule.
If you're making about 2.5 minutes apiece, yeah, that'll get us
can
right
do
to the
that.
top of the 10 o'clock hour. All right, which one you want to play next?
We're going to do Ain't My Stop. Another
All right.
Bo Jackson.
Ain't My Stop. It's the week's live here on Lightning 100 and streaming at volume.com/lightning100.
What's more American than TV static and we'll die just spite you? It's strange to habits I slept in days. Mine feels crazy, it's not my life. I know what the feeling going over the brink, and we all begin praying when the bus is sinking. You scream, hold on, you got this all wrong, this is not my life. I'm not supposed to die like this, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. The end of a blade, maybe engulf the flame, something flashier than myself. No one rose to pick their souls, but I'm glad with the one I got. Me off this train or land this plane, 'cause I sure as hell ain't my stop, this ain't my stop. Me out of your town, see I'm the cause of your conflict, and I'll spit on the paper, see if that makes a point. Stick if I'm bleeding or stop it, more than a profit, it's my life. Well, lately it's crazy, the sweat and the freezing, and I changed the leaves, I will decay every season. Put the gun in your pocket, tell the driver to stop it, it's my life. Well, I'm not supposed to die like this, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. The end of a blade, maybe engulf the flame, something flashier than myself. No one rose to pick their souls, but I'm glad with the one I got. Me off this train or land this plane, 'cause it sure as hell ain't my stop, this ain't my stop. Beginning of life, I guess it's more than a concept, and the handles are stolen, so the train hasn't stopped yet. Had a dream, but I lost it. Hole in my pocket, it's my life. The windows are broken in the building we live in, keeps the rain from our faces, but it lets all the ghosts in. Her the heart that quit beating, the city kept blinking, it's my life. I'm not supposed to die like this, supposed to be somewhere else. The end of a blade, maybe engulfed in flames, something flashier than myself. No one rolls to pick their souls, but I'm glad with the one I got. Let me off this train or land this plane, 'cause I sure as hell ain't my stop. This ain't my stop.
Once again, the week's live here in the volume.com studio. Ain't My Stop, the name of that one. Make sure that you stop in to Brooklyn Bowl tomorrow night. You do not want to miss that show. And we've got a few comments popping up on the stream, and I feel like I need to acknowledge this one to you guys. Tom said he can't wait for the gig in New York City, and he's actually flying over from Manchester in the UK because he could not miss the tour. So follow Tom's lead, everyone.
That's right.
Get to one of these
You're the
days.
best,
We love you,
Tom.
Tom. We'll see you there.
That's right. And yeah, if you're streaming us outside of Nashville, again, they're actually going to be playing tonight in Chattanooga, coming up tomorrow night here in Nashville out at Brooklyn Bowl, and then picking back up again in March on the 23rd in New York, then Cambridge, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, DC, and then Memphis on March 31st. Is that, could you see maybe extending it, or is it, you just going to
it's
stick
gonna
with
be
this?
extended.
It's going to be
Okay.
It
There
might
you-
be extended like this week.
Oh, there you go. The weeksmusic.com is the website to stay on top of that. And a couple other comments I saw too. Somebody said they miss you guys. Come back to Phoenix.
Okay.
So maybe throw Phoenix on those the upcoming dates. And then someone else also said come back to Detroit. So from the
Nice.
Music City to the Motor City, you guys can
There
get
we
that
go.
done too.
I like
So man, it's been so much. It's always so much fun. It's just it's been a minute, and it's so great to have you guys back here. And congratulations, happy anniversary to Dear Bo Jackson.
Which one is 10 years? Is that the silver anniversary? Is it the,
It's a big one.
Yeah.
we should
That-
get
it's
that.
like
We
the
should
first
figure that
big
out.
one,
Figure that
right?
out.
We should
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
We can get each other little necklaces and stuff.
There you
Oh,
go.
I would love that.
Oh, yeah, and be sure to check out the website too for the upcoming merch. Apparently, that they're brainstorming here on the radio, which is going to be very cool too. But guys, we appreciate. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank
Again,
y'all.
you guys heading straight to Chattanooga after this?
Yes, sir.
Got to go get down there, get sound checked, do that show, and then back in Nashville again. Brooklyn Bowl tomorrow night. You can save $5. Get those tickets today. $25 in advance will be $30 tomorrow. It is 18 and over show. Again, the doors open at 6. The show starts at 8, and we've got Lenox Hills and Chrome Pony opening for the weeks tomorrow night right here in Music City. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Have a great show tonight in Chattanooga, and we'll see you tomorrow night out at Brooklyn Bowl right
Sounds
here
good.
in Music City. We're taking a quick time out, then we'll be back with more local lightning music from Elise Davis here on Lightning in the Morning.